interruptions are, you know, they're sort of that gray line of good, bad, you know. They're that line of, oh man, and what the hell, and oh. There, interruptions is just a quick topic, I guess. Quick, I don't know, but when I watch any kind of debate or something, I listen to also who interrupts who. That's very important. And the reason it's important is because you have to think about why that person's interrupting. For example, we just finished watching The Purge, the TV series, season 1. While the woman, Jane, she was a black woman, and she went on a date with this white dude. And I'm not sure, it was a sort of a debate, I guess. Me and Sidra talking about the scene, and I'm like trying to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. And I mean, was I really trying? So he's trying to, he's talking. He's like, okay, I'm on this date with this black woman, and he starts throwing out all this stuff that, we're like, man, he's been watching that Fox News like crazy, and it was a big debate. And I think me and Sidra could have that debate on a CR at some point. But when later he captures her, and they're going over what's, like it's like a debate thing. It's like, well, he wants her to confess how wrong she was for what she did, and she's like, I gotta sit there and deal with your racism and stuff like that. But when she got onto that, he interrupted her when she talked about a lot of other stuff. Whenever she got on the roll of making a point about him and his accountability, or his lack of accountability, he interrupted. And it's the same thing when you watch a debate. If you watch the Atheist Experience, when Matt Dillahunty is up there and he's talking, you get to hear him interrupt others, and you hear others trying to interrupt him. But is it intentional? On Matt's side, yes. Why? Because nuance is always there for interruptions. And the reason he interrupts is most of the time is because to him it's just a rerun. As soon as someone utters 2 words, he knows what's next, because there's a narrow window of argument that theists can make. It's very narrow. There's pretty much all the same type of arguments. So as soon as they say something, he's like, yep, my memory, I know where this is going and stuff. And so I'm like, all right. And then you got those that interrupt him. There's a time delay on the phone. So when he's talking and Matt pauses just for half a second, it's a delay. So when he pauses, they think he's done. Now, this drafts into or segues into another part of interruptions. The I gotta get it out interruption is not that someone's disrespecting or anything, but when you say something that triggers a thought, a memory, or a very good talking point, they want to get it out that bad. They really want to get it out. So you could be talking, you could be debating or talking or conversing about someone, someone comparing running shoes to the way dinosaurs lived. And although that's a stretch, but hey, if you crafty enough, you can make an argument to compare the two. And when you do, someone might say, "Oh, that's right, I want to say this," and then it reminds them of what they want to say. And honestly, it's not that they're disrespecting; it just came up. You triggered that memory, and that's a good thing. And if it's not you, then something triggered the memory, but they're getting it out. And when they get that memory out, it might seem disrespectful, but at the same time, they might be really, yeah, I just whistled too. I'm getting old, but they might be helping the conversation. They might actually remind themselves of something that might actually change their mind on something, or it might change your mind. You just never know. It's one of those cool little audibles in life that we don't really appreciate. We get annoyed hearing something and we're like, oh man, this. So interruptions aren't that bad. They can be really good. It sucks when people get interrupted. If you get interrupted, you feel disrespected, but you don't have to. Not all the time. You just never know. And maybe somebody just want to be heard. You know, they just want to be heard. Somebody just listening to them. And that's important. It really is. So sometimes if you get interrupted, don't just fly off the handle. Don't get annoyed. Don't roll your eyes or brush your hair back or scratch your chin or, one of those things that show that you're discomforted or diseased. Just simply ask, why'd you interrupt me? And they might not even know that they did it. And maybe you get to correct something that they've had a habit of doing that made them lose lots of other arguments. Lose not in the structure of it, but lose as in they made someone not want to hear them anymore. And that's when you lose. Even if you are on the right side of the argument, if it gets to the point someone has to run from you, you've lost, no matter how right you are, no matter how accurate you are. So, I think just chill, relax, ask questions, and if you have to interrupt, explain. Look, I hear what you're saying. Repeat what they're saying a little bit, see if you get an understanding. You say, I want to say this. That's sometimes what I do. I think it's fair, and I think they deserve that kind of courtesy. So it should be returned. I guess I'm going to get out of this. But this is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.